On this week's show, Special Edition Rocket 1.0 figure re-releases and Disney Infinity 2.0 outsells the competition. All this and more on episode 73 of the Inside Infinity podcast.
What's up, guys? This is John Vignacchi, executive producer on Disney Infinity, and you are listening to Inside Infinity, the first official Disney Infinity podcast on the net.
Inside Infinity is brought to you with support from Evilost Customs. Evilost.com is your number one place for custom Disney Infinity figures. His latest edition and one he's given to the show to give away to all of you is this custom painted Crystal Sorcerer Mickey. So this thing is awesome. It's a one-of-a-kind Evilost custom. So keep on the lookout. We will give you details on a future episode on how you can win this. Until then, head over to Evilost.com to find out more. Hello everyone, welcome to Inside Infinity episode number 73, recorded on January 19th, 2015. I am one of your two hosts, Will Kelly. Joining me, as always, Mr. Jason Haynes, my Australian co-host. Jason, how are you doing today?
Very good, thank you. It's nice to be doing the podcast first thing in the morning for me, 9 a.m.
This is better than your morning coffee. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Yeah, we both have some sunlight now. It's given a different vibe. It's almost like we're at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, great. Just want to welcome everyone to the show. Those that are joining in our early show, it's a holiday here in the States. It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, so that's why we're doing the show early. You can catch us normally every Monday evening, 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Just head on over to apps.disneyinfinity.tv/live. We have a few in the chat room there today. A few regulars. Romulus is there. Jason Haynes. Roger from Vinyl Kingdom. Normally it's too late his time, so welcome, Roger. Ryan Twitch. Crystal Perry. Good to see you back. Chris from Evilost Customs. And Jose Luis. Omi, Captain Disney. So welcome everyone to the show. We appreciate you joining us on this this unique time. So Jason, before we get started with the show, there's one thing I did want to mention, and this actually happened before Christmas when we weren't having too many shows, and I've been a very, very bad friend since then, and I have forgotten to mention it in the past two previous shows, so got to mention it now. Good friends of the show, good friends of the podcast, on the podcast, and have some DITV shows of their own. Sarah and Steve C., they went to Disneyland right before the holidays, and this is what happened. So I'm going to bring that up on screen. So there we go. So there you can see it. Steve proposed to Sarah, making an honest woman out of her, and it looks like he did it on Space Mountain, I believe.
Yes, that looks like Space Mountain to me.
So, so just wanted to send an awesome congrats to them. They're friends of ours, and we could not be happier for them. It's just so awesome that they got engaged. So congrats to Sarah and Steve. Steve, you're a lucky man. So don't be yourself. Be good to her. No, I'm just playing. That was mean.
The big question is, which Disney Infinity figure will be on top of the wedding cake?
Ooh, I love that. All right, guys, Sarah and Steve, I know you're listening to the show. Report back to us on that, so we can find out what's going to be your Disney Infinity wedding topper.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, with that, Jason, let's go ahead and get things started. What do you say?
Yeah, let's get into the news.
Cool. First, it's been nice, Jason. The news has ramped back up, and that makes me happy. So first thing, last week, Jason, the new figures were released. We mentioned that they were going to be released last week, but you and I finally got our hands on them. And just to briefly, what do you think of the new figures? Do you dig them?
Nah. Is that brief enough for you? No, I think they're really good. As always, look fantastic. Just not two of the three anyway. I really like the Green Goblin. I'm much more of a bigger fan of the comics Green Goblin. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. I just say the characters aren't my favorite characters by any means, but as far as gameplay, I think they're really good, but you should probably go check out our video review on the YouTube channel if you want to see some more extensive thoughts from the team.
Yeah, definitely go and do that. So we're not gonna really go over them too much here, but both Jason and I we dig them, as of course. But if you want the more details, then head over to the YouTube for the breakdowns. Cool. All right, Jason. Did you see this? Infinity Inquirer posted this the other day. So remember in 1.0 we had the quote unquote, and I'm intentionally quote unquoting, the collector's edition rocket or no, Jack Skellington with the collector case it came in.
Did you get that, by the way?
I did not, because in my opinion it was not a special edition collectible. There was nothing special about it. It was this case, which I don't use those cases.
Well, can you even buy them? Did they even release a 2.0 version of those figure cases?
Well, you know what? Not yet, but it looks like they are releasing one. And that is in the form of this custom rocket. So the standard ones had the red base. The collector's Jack had a black base. And then this rocket one has a blue base. And you can kind of see has like some moons and planets in the background and stuff. And then it looks like the Milano back there. It's probably screen printed on the plastic. So yeah, Jason, I mean, I think you're right. This is the first 2.0 specific one of these. Lots of the figures obviously would fit in that, but yeah, that's coming according to GameStop, and it looks like it's going to be $20 and released on February 14th, Valentine's Day. So for that special someone in your life, you can get them a collector's edition rocket figure in a blue case. Jason, your thoughts on that?
I have zero feelings on it, as I'm 100% positive it will not be available in this country, and it really does seem like a bit of a gimmick, to be honest. I don't think this adds to the game or takes away from it. So I guess if you're a huge Guardians fan, it might be cool to have a case like that, but it doesn't interest me personally.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, the case is the only unique thing. I'm sure the diehard people, like the person who has the Infinity Museum, might want this thing. But yeah, for the average person, if you already have Rocket, I wouldn't worry about it too much.
No.
Cool. All right, Mr. Haynes, next up. Did you see this 1.0 figures being re-released? So you and I kind of had a conversation about this before the show started. Yeah, I don't know. Jason, what do you think?
Well, I mean, it's inevitable. It's something that, well, it's not necessarily inevitable. I've just said it many times before. I don't really care how they do it, but it'd be nice if there was an official statement on this particular topic. And because, as I said, if you're starting off in 2.0, there are a lot of figures that are hard to get for 1.0. And so I'm kind of going through sort of a similar thing at the moment with power discs. If you don't have the full set of wave 1 of power discs, it's kind of hard to find packets, at least for like wave 2 and wave 3 out there, or you're going to pay huge prices on eBay. And so it'd be nice to sort of have an idea of what the future plans of how they're going to release 1.0 content in the future. I think I mentioned in a previous show that it looks like maybe the whole Nintendo Amiibo thing, they might be releasing just cards for, figures that have been discontinued. I'd just like to know what the future plans are, because, I mean, can you think off the top of your head, what would be a figure? If there was a figure that you thought that Disney would go, nah, we're not going to re-release it, what would that figure be? What would they not reissue due to its unpopularity?
Ooh, that's a good question. I guess, and it's ironic because I would think some of the Cars character, maybe Holly Shipwell or Francesco.
Or maybe the Lone Ranger, because nobody seems to that. Certainly didn't catch off. Would they go to the effort of reprinting X number of Lone Ranger figures? I just can't see retailers wanting to stock that figure on their shelf. Right. So what do they do in that situation?
Especially since this will be a continued problem. So each iteration is going to have to worry about previous gen figures. So
And the other thing that's been flying around, don't know whether you've noticed, is there's been a lot of talk lately of a re-release, a digital release version of Disney Infinity 1.0. I'm not saying they've been talking about it, but I'm
mhm,
saying I've seen a lot of chatter of people requesting, can we get a digital version of 1.0 so that we can play
right.
the old playset? So a re-release effectively of the playset side of things for Disney Infinity 1.0.
Mhm.
If that came to pass, then again you could see, well, there's an opportunity then to re-release all the 1.0 figures because suddenly they're relevant again because they've got a place to play that's
Absolutely.
designed for them. So
Yeah,
it's interesting.
right now it's maybe the collectors that are just getting into the game would be interested in this, or those that really love the toy box just to get some of their favorite Disney characters. Uh, so I guess I understand from that perspective, but you're hitting a nail on the head. If older playsets come to future games, then it's definitely going to be an issue because some content without all the characters is impossible to get. You
Yeah.
1.0 required those
And the other thing that surprises me is that if that artwork that we saw there is
mhm.
accurate, I would have thought the smart thing to do would be re-release them, but re-release them with 2.0 style box art.
Yeah, the box art is different, um, a little bit,
Well, look, they
but
got the Lone Ranger and stuff there. That's I just yeah. Although they always were available. No, the crystals were available.
right. And
You could get Crystal Lone Ranger
and I
separately.
want to
That's
say
right.
this yellow was the crystal background. Um,
That's
so
why I'm thinking it's really like that looks super concept to me. I don't know.
well, this is actually from Amazon UK, and so a couple media outlets are posting about this. So this right here is coming from Infinity Inquirer, and then a few moments ago when we showed the lightning and the holly. This is from Vinylmation Kingdom. So both these sites have picked this up, and they are being listed. Here's Holly Shiftwell. But again, yeah, I mean you're right, Jason. It's obvious this is concept. That's not a
Exactly.
real
I mean, you'd think
figure.
there'd be a built-in, baked-in, compatible with Disney Infinity 2.0, wouldn't you?
Yeah, yep.
Some form
Especially.
of artwork or logo that represents that, hey, this is a 2.0 re-release of this figure.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. It's interesting. I mean, I understand it, but yeah, I guess it remains to be seen. The Cars characters supposedly coming out in March, and the other characters that we showed on screen, the Toy Story and the Lone Ranger, coming out in February. A few non-favorites from the chat. Tesla Blitz is agreeing Holly Shiftwell. Romulus is agreeing Francesco. Uh, Tesla is saying Davy Jones. Diz Explorer says Randall. So those are a few, Jason, that people are thinking might not wouldn't be as apt to come in a re-release if
Yeah,
it were to happen. Although it's looking like Holly Shiftwell is going to make the cut, so we'll see. Um,
we will see.
yeah, it's interesting. So Roger from Valmation Kingdom in the chat saying this is probably just to keep them on the shelves for years for 3.0 and 4.0.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
As I said, I've got a gut feeling that there's going to be. I don't want to start any riots. I've got a feeling there's going to be a big game changer in 3.0. I have nothing to base that on, but I feel like there might be a game changer in 3.0, and we'll wait and see.
What does the game changer mean?
A game changer meaning that I think the way in which we can collect figures and power discs, I think, may change up the way that we have done it in the past. So I don't know what that means. I haven't
Okay.
got to flesh that out, but I'm just saying I think there will be it will be different in 3.0. I think they have to do something to have a really quick way of catching up.
Yeah. Interesting. I look forward to watching your video on that when you break it down, once you flesh out that idea.
We'll see. I can't remember. It was one of my top 10, but we'll see.
Gotcha. All right. Well, cool. We're gonna put that one to bed. Now move on to kind of the big story of the week, Jason. And this was coming from an article on Bloomberg, so not a Disney website, not a Infinity website, a business site. And basically, the title of the article says Disney stakes claim as U.S. leader in toys to life category. So yeah, so if MPD Group Inc. is a company, Jason, and what they do is they track retail sales of many different things, but you and I hear about mostly from video games and consoles. And so MPD is the one who tells you that the PlayStation 4 outsold the Xbox One last month, or that Call of Duty was the highest selling video game last year. And so this is coming from and actually a telephone interview by James Pitaro, the president of Disney Interactive. And he said in that telephone interview, we're outselling our previous year and we're outselling our competition. So our competition primarily is Activision and the Skylanders IP. But you could also throw in Amiibo in that category. Nintendo jumped in that area, the Toys to Life category this year. And so this is a pretty big claim. One, Jason, before I get your thoughts on this, that Activision is not agreeing with. So Activision Publishing Chief Executive Officer Eric Hirschberg disputed the claim, saying that Skylanders continues its leadership position as the #1 kids video game franchise globally, as well as in the US by wide margins. So interesting. The problem with MPDs, Jason, that we discussed this pre-show, is that they're generally they're kind of hard for the public to get their hands on, and this is kind of a he said she said conversation. So neither one of them is saying that we are the highest selling in 2014 for the Toys to Life category of video games. Disney is saying that they have outsold their competition. You know, they're kind of pointing the bullseye at Activision. And then Activision is saying we're the leadership position, #1 kids video game franchise globally. And so I don't know. What's your thoughts on this? And what do you think it actually means? And what do you think it's saying?
Well, to be honest, I honestly would be surprised if Disney Infinity is tracking higher than Skylanders, only because it's got such a lead in what's the word? It's customer base. Like,
Yeah.
it's been around for such a long time. Now, obviously, I think Disney Infinity is the better product, or at least the better concept. So, but yeah, ultimately it doesn't matter. I mean, all that's important is that it's successful. Clearly,
Right.
it's successful. If it's in the realm of Skylanders, then that's a huge win as Infinity fans, because it means it's not going away anytime soon.
Yep, agreed. I mean, it's kind of the king in the space, and Infinity is a 2-year-old franchise. The way I'm kind of reading it is that maybe it outsold Skylanders in the States, but global sales for Activision is, I mean, because they're both arguing two separate points. So maybe that's what they're saying, but I agree with you. I mean, it's just good news for us. It doesn't matter really who sold what, as long as Disney Infinity did sell that much. In the same article, the interactive division of Burbank, California-based Disney earned $116 million on sales of $1.3 billion last year, in part due to Infinity, which was introduced in 2013. Talked about before that Disney Interactive made no money the previous 5 years before DI1, and that Infinity 2 seems to be helping increase those sales. Pitaro also said that this will be a tremendous morale booster because it really continues to demonstrate that our strategy is working. And that's, I think that right there, and you alluded to it, Jason, that's the big thing. This is securing, we know they're working on 3.0, but 4.0's future, although planned, is somewhat uncertain until the success of 3.0. And
that's right. And you can imagine that with the more successful it is, the more freedom and resources the teams are going to get to, I mean, let's be thankful for Sky, because if Skylanders wasn't there and you didn't have a competitor, there's less incentive to push the platform to its limits and innovate it each time. So,
Hmm.
competition is a healthy thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Jason, one last thing I wanted to discuss with you, because we are opinionated and we run a podcast on Infinity and a YouTube network. I wanted to bring up this line right here. Also in the article, Pitaro attributed the increased sales to a toy box feature that allows players to have characters from different Disney movies interact with one another. He also cited new characters tied to hit Disney films, Captain America, Guardians, Big Hero 6. Declined to say whether or not Star Wars would be in there. The piece, though, that I really wanted to discuss with you is this attributed the increased sales to the toy box feature. That's some good marketing right there, and I do not
Yeah,
agree.
I, I don't agree either. I don't think that's the case at all.
It's not a new feature. Um, for existing fans of the game, although we're all playing the toy box and we enjoy it, we all love the playsets, and we want more playsets. And I don't know. I don't think that that's exactly honest
No,
because again, it's not a new feature. So how can they contribute 2.0's success to the toy box? Other than if they're looking at 1.0, that was the highest played item.
let's be honest. The success of this game is because the toys themselves are extremely cool. That's the success of this game. The attach rate must be through the roof for
Mm-hmm.
Disney Infinity, for the ability to, I mean, yeah, it's like you buy the playset, you're locked in. It's like who's not buying at least another 2 to 3 figures per game? Like you're going to, so effectively you're paying, not even take power discs into the equation, but you're effectively probably going to spend twice the amount of money you would on any
Mm-hmm.
other video game for what your console is. You're paying the full retail price for a video game that every other game gets, and then you're probably going to spend at least
Mm-hmm.
that amount again on accessories.
Yeah.
So that's what its success is. The success is the high quality of toys. I almost guarantee it.
Yeah.
That's not disparaging the game. Like obviously it's a great game too, but I'm saying I think its success is the toys.
Right. Yeah, and I mean though it's a chicken and egg thing. Without the game, you don't have the toys. Without the toys, you don't have the game. Without the toy box, you don't have many of the toys. So it's interesting. Yeah, Tesla Blitz in the chat is saying more playsets question mark. We need like 8 playsets, and that's kind of a consensus around these parts. And for a
I'd
lot
be
of people,
shocked if we don't get that many, like a number similar to that in 3.0. Absolutely shocked.
well, we had 6 first go around, right? And then we had 3 this go around. And yeah, B Necker in the chat is saying success is the whole package. I would not agree with that. I mean, it's hard to attribute it to one item.
Yeah.
So even 6 play sets would be nice. 3 Star Wars, 2 Disney, and 1 Marvel. Yeah, and we know we're gonna get more Marvel stuff in Disney Infinity. JV even, I think it was JV even said that we will be getting some more Marvel. What that means exactly, we don't know if that's gonna be play sets or figures, but I don't know. I wouldn't be against it next year. If we had Star Wars, Disney, and 1 Marvel, maybe the Ultron Marvel playset, but I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there, so I will
Yeah.
stop doing that. Basically, we all want more playsets. So cool. Well, Jason, anything else that you want to mention about the Bloomberg article and Disney sales for 2014?
No, just congratulations to the team, everyone involved. I think that's, really cool. I'm glad that clearly your jobs look secure for some time to come. Keep it up.
Absolutely. Could not agree more. Yeah, so I guess 2.0 is up 10% from the earlier year as far as uh, starter packs go. So that's a good thing too. So it's not only that selling well, but it's selling more than the previous version, and 3.0 I'm sure will be the same kind of scenario.
I'd be shocked if it's not a 20% boost. If Star Wars is the theme for this year, get ready for a massive explosion in growth.
You heard it here, first, folks. Jason is saying 20% next gen with 3.0. Cool. All right, Jason. Well, that's pretty much all I have. Is there anything else that you want to mention before we kind of end things early?
No. I just think I think everyone should be getting excited that we've nearly got all the figures. We'll all nearly be playing for those hardcore collectors. We'll be playing with the special unlocks, and yeah, let's finish strong. And hopefully, won't be too long before we start the 3.0 hype train.
Definitely. Well, with that being said, Jason, we're kind of doing our own hype train now. Let's discuss what's going on in the world of Infinity with you and DITV. What things have you been working on recently? And then I'll go.
In the world of Infinity.
Like your videos.
Yes, so
Plug your top 10.
Normally I would be producing a top 10 video right now, but the show is early, so I'm hoping to get another top 10 video out for the end of the week. But for those who aren't aware, I've created 2 top 10 videos, one with top 10 changes I want to see for the game, and one that's my top 10 changes I want to see in the toy box. And I'm still currently working my way through creating extended thoughts for each one of those 10. So I have 20 supplement videos if you would like to hear extended thoughts on each of those things. And we're looking for conversation, so let me know in the comments of those videos so that we can discuss them in upcoming shows. So I really do feel like we're very close to some 3.0 news, so it's a good time to start those discussions.
Definitely. So Jason, real quick, want to give props to Crystal Perry in the chat, bringing something to the attention that just dropped a few minutes ago, and it goes along with that rocket case. Real quick here, I'm going to bring it up. So Infinity Inquirer first look Nick Fury Collector's Edition with Infinity case. So looks like there's going to be another 2.0 collector's case, and it looks like February 3rd is the release, and it's going to be $30. Interesting, that's more expensive. It makes me think the other one is incorrect.
Insane. It's interesting that it's proper, like in its own packaging.
Yeah. Well, and we haven't seen the other packaging since I didn't.
I didn't see Did the Nightmare Before Christmas one come in a box like that?
I don't know. I would assume so, but again, since I didn't buy one, I never saw it. This one has a really cool shield in the background. That looks pretty awesome.
Interesting.
So cool. So it looks like we're going to get 2 in February. Thanks, Crystal Perry, for mentioning that. I almost missed it, so we appreciate the...
I'm also noticing on that box art, do you notice the Spider-Man underneath?
Say that
they
again?
also had cases. On the back of the box art of Nick Fury, they've got 2 more characters underneath in boxes.
Those are both blue, so those look like the rocket ones.
Do you think that's what it is? That wouldn't make... Why would you put that on official packaging? Put 2 Spider-Man figures. So it looks like something's behind Spider-Man.
Yeah, it looks like it's Fury's card. It looks like, actually it is. It's both Fury's and Spider-Man's card. It's really kind of hard to see. Yeah, that's...
All right, well,
that's strange.
There you go.
We'll keep you posted on that as we hear more. But it's interesting that they're doing this, and they're doing it kind of so late in the game.
Yeah, how about you just tell us about the Tron figures instead of a special edition?
Amen to that. I agree with you completely. Yeah, Chris Perry saying that the Jack one had, instead of like the shield logo or the plants and stuff, it had gravestones and stuff around the base.
Yeah, I remember. It was cool. Again, it didn't come to this country, so
I failed you on that one.
Yeah.
So I think Jason's bet is that we're gonna get a Spidey and Nova one as well. That's what Jason's saying. We'll keep you posted though as more things come out with that. Cool, everyone. Well, I think that is going to wrap up the show today. If you like what we do, please subscribe to us on YouTube. Check us out on Twitter. Check out the audio version on iTunes. And hope you enjoyed this show. But until next time, we hope your week is filled with infinite possibilities.